My post-game Penn State Michigan recap. Penn State was able to win this pretty convincingly, 42-13. A little bit of some doubt early on. Like in the second quarter, Penn State really stormed off to a really good start to get that 14 to nothing lead. Then they started to look kind of pedestrian. They had that pick. Then Michigan came down and got the touchdown. Then Michigan was able to make it a 14-13. But two touchdowns, they missed the extra point. And then Penn State was able to make it an 8-point lead before halftime with a touchdown. And then the second half was all Penn State. Michigan had a couple first downs here or there, but they were never able to put an extensive drive together that was able to put them in the position to get a touchdown and get them back into the game. I think Penn State, they got that touchdown pretty early in the third. It wasn't real early, but it was after a couple drives. And then I think there was a fumble, and then that put them at 35-13 in real nice position. And then that was when the game was pretty much over. Because at 15 points, you can still say, well, they get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, and then they get another touchdown. The game's tied. So, but Penn State was able to really cash in, and then it was 22-point lead, and then it just got even more out of hand, and then it went to 29. I'm a little surprised that they were able to put up that many points, but Michigan's defense really hadn't seen the kind of offense that Penn State had, and I think they were just too much for them, and Penn State was playing its A game today, I think. Today was a very complete game for Penn State. You could tell. They really didn't do that much that was wrong. The O-line did pretty decent. They did well getting pressure on O'Korn. O'Korn didn't do that bad, though. See, here's the thing with Michigan. People are saying, oh, Harbaugh should leave, get fired, because he hasn't done anything, really. But, this is a really young team. These are his players. But these same players are going to be here in a year or two. Kind of reminds me of the Penn State, maybe 2015 team. You look at that 2015 team, there's a lot of players that are still here. You have Hamilton, you have Blacknall, you have Gesicki, you have Tompkins, you have Barkley, you have Nelson, you have Mahone. There's 7 guys on the offense that I just named that were here in 2015 and starting. So, and that's going to be Michigan defensively and offensively in 18 or 19. And that's when you're going to see them really being able to step up and being like this Penn State team. So last year, Penn State really didn't quite have the identity, and Michigan was a very senior-led team. So it's kind of like a flip-flop, But I don't really think Michigan's in a bad future. I said in the beginning of the year, I said, you guys are probably not going to get more than 8 wins. And I still think they won't, because they got 2 losses. They're going to lose to Wisconsin, and they're going to lose to Ohio State. And they're probably going to lose to somebody else, too. But they're good enough to beat the mediocre Big Ten teams by maybe 10, 14 points, but they're not going to pound them. They're not going to pound anybody 60 to nothing. Like Rutgers next week, they'll probably win that maybe 31-14 or something, 35-14, where it's pretty convincingly, but it's not a pounding. They don't have that same kind of firepower that I think Penn State and Ohio State have. But overall, I think Michigan moving forward is going to get a bowl. I don't know if they're quite a top 25 team. They may be. But they just kind of have to continue moving forward. And, college football programs like Michigan like to get a little too hot on the collar sometimes, a little too early. But for Penn State, this is a big win. They got 7 wins now. And I think a lot of the games heading forward look pretty winnable. I think Nebraska does, I think Rutgers does, and I think Maryland does. But this next 2 game, people were saying this 3-game stretch, and I agree. So that they got 1 win, so now they got to get at least 1 more, and 2 would be ideal. Michigan State's a good team, but they're not. They're kind of like Michigan, where they're not going to be able to put up a ton of points on you, but you're not going to be able to put up a ton of points on them. So it might be kind of close. It's not. There's no whiteout. So there's no whiteout, and it's an away game. So that's going to be a little harder than Michigan, I think. And I think Michigan State might be a little bit of a better football team anyway. And then you have Ohio State. Ohio State's going to be their hardest game on the schedule, talent-wise. this Ohio State team is on Penn State's level talent-wise, maybe even better. And none of the other teams really on a talent standpoint have the kind of talent and experience that Penn State really does have. And it's been showing. I mean, that's how it is. But Ohio State's gonna give them a good run. They got revenge on their mind, and it's gonna be like going into Beaver Stadium. Just you're not the fans aren't cheering for you; they're cheering against you, and making everything way harder than it has to be. So that game's not going to be easy at all. But they're 7-0. They got to win. They look pretty good. McSorley looked pretty good. But Barkley had some nice plays. Then they started to key in on him a little bit, and he started to beat him in the passing game. So overall, it was a good, solid win. Peace out, guys.